Is that correctly pronunciation?
That's correct.
First of all, thank you for taking us down that trip, the memory lane. I originally prepared a completely different story, but because you mentioned, America and Americans, I wanted to share a little bit of my own experience with them. I'll start with the words of my favorite singer. Amerika nije rad i znoj, postoji Hollywood i Frankie Boy, Disneyland, baseball i rock and roll. America is not just work and sweat. There's Hollywood, Frankie Boy, famous gangster, Disneyland, baseball, rock and roll, all these things that, came from the United States. And growing up in the old country as a young man, I was like thinking to myself, how can I be a part of this big American dream? So I had a brilliant idea. I'll join the army. So I joined military academy to become a tank and anti-aircraft artillery mechanic. So my major was systems of automatic maneuvering and firing and laser guidance, which came in handy after NATO attacked us. So I had no idea this was going to be this way. I joined the army because I really wanted to explore the world, to see some things. Next thing you know, we're fighting the whole world, including our own countries. I lost 7 wars in 4 years and changed about 12 different countries and memorabilia on my uniform. Basically, would go to sleep in one country, wake up in another one. I'm like, okay, the dream is there, somehow it'll come. At some point, the NATO was attacking my own country for various political reasons. I don't want to get into details. My job was to supply bullets into this anti-aircraft artillery. There's 3 kinds of bullets that you can put in depending on who you're shooting, whether you're shooting an airplane or a tank or civilians. And since we never expected anybody would ever attack us, instead of putting the bullets, people would put in brandy, vodka. So you would recall, whatever you wanted, they'll be delivered to you right in front of yourself. So when the NATO attacked a lot of our people died because of that stupid recklessness. Funny thing is that at some point there was an American helicopter with a Red Cross that was supposed to be delivering goods. However, again, I don't want to get into all the details. They were not just delivering goods. They were up to no good. So my friends tried to shoot them down, and they tried to shoot us even though they were wrong. Fast forward, many years later, I moved to St. John's, Newfoundland as a political refugee because half of my family is Muslim, the other half is Roman Catholic. So during the war, I was actually with Orthodox Christians, which are the Serbs, the third side. So nobody really wanted me. It's like, look man, you can either be with Bosnians or Croatians, but not with Serbs. You gotta choose your side wisely, like you don't belong to any of us here. So the Canadian government said, yeah, you belong to us. And I was able to come here. One of the first people that I met here was an American brat herself. And she was so open-minded because of the way that people who were raised in the army are. So she was like, what do you need? And there's only 3 needs a man needed at that time. It was either sex, drugs, or rock and roll. She was not judging whatever it is that I needed, right? We became really good friends, and I was able to kind of get the war and everything out of my own system. Then I moved to Asia to study Buddhism for such a long time. And came back here to Newfoundland again like a true Newfoundlander after so many years. And now I have 2 children. My son starts playing a bass guitar. And he says, I met this young kid. He's an amazing drummer. And they formed a band, so they are now in a rock and roll band. And we start talking about who they are. And then I realized that this boy's grandmother is the same friend that actually saved me when I came here. Now, he's saving my own son. He's coming from a completely different experience. It's like, wow. So we didn't tell our kids how we knew each other. And then she introduces me to her new husband, Bobby, a war veteran from the war in Yugoslavia. The same guy who operated that Red Cross helicopter in Serbia that I tried to shoot down unsuccessfully, and it was like, and he tried to shoot us down as well. So it's like, okay, since we didn't shoot each other, what can we do now? Let's play some music. So we formed a rock and roll band. He played the bass guitar, so we played quite often at the Georgetown pub on Saturdays. And we would tell this story, people would be like, no. The connections, well, the thing is with the bass, because of the military base and the bass and everything, that whole thing. My kid playing the bass with his grandson, and I'm playing with him, and it was just such a surreal incident that in the end, I think it's the intention that I set as a child to kind of wanted to experience the world. To me, you know, rather than having things, experiences were more important. You know, I remember the first time somebody stole a gun and they sold it, so our officers had to raid our lockers. I came out of the bathroom, what's happening? They're raiding our lockers. So my officer found marijuana there. He said like, what is this, man? I thought, well, in court martial, I was like, thief for losing weight. He's like, I see it's not working on you. Things like that. I mean, all these little experiences that I had along the way. I mean, I was there for 4 years in the army, meeting all these people and everything. Mind you, I personally never really shot a gun. I was lucky enough. One of the things that I really want to leave you with, and this is a very difficult idea and a concept. After many years of living and everything, I realized that because I was in the army for 4 years, I was faced with very difficult choices, and a lot of times we have these choices. So at the beginning of a war, if it ever comes to that, there's only one ethical question. This comes from the German idealism, Weltschmerz, the idea of world pain, where a Buddhist is standing on a cliff and asking themselves whether they will continue or not. When you get that gun, there's only one person you have to shoot. It's yourself. The moment you turn your gun to somebody else is the moment you think that somebody's life is less worth than yours. And I don't think we have that choice to make. It's not my choice. I chose the guitar and I've been playing music my whole life. I ended up meeting all these people through it. It's an amazing experience. I was lucky enough, but I really hope that if it ever comes to that, we just put our guns down and we're the same people. Americans, Canadians, Bosnians, and Mainlanders. Thank you so much.